Dear boomers, well, in the springtime, I showed you what central Pennsylvania looks like, and now we are in the height of autumn, and I need to show you what that is like. It is so beautiful. Here's my tree that if I waited till tomorrow to show you, all the leaves may have already come down. And then we have little Pearl who's eating her biscuit. And Mossy, I think he already ate his biscuit. He never likes his biscuits. Well, today I want to talk about something that has been on my mind. Before I do that, I'm going to show you my figs. See if there's one I can eat. Because even though we're having frost, these things are starting to ripen and they are absolutely lovely. But they're not quite ready. These are not. So, as far as pro-life and pro-choice goes, in my 40-year career working with women's health, we were often talking about pro-life, pro-choice, and the main thing being that pro-life was not really pro-life because they were so invested in their point of view that they very, very rarely would listen to any of us. But then again, were we listening to them? And now the us versus them thing has taken root in our whole entire society. The abortion ban is a travesty. When I was going to school as a nurse practitioner, I went and got an apartment in Philadelphia, and during that time, the Planned Parenthood that sent me to school and gave me stipends and such, they were firebombed and burnt to the ground. I can't say we because I was out of town and not really involved, but they had to get a whole new place to practice contraceptive care and women's health, and abortion was not a primary thing, but it was something that we provided with referring them out, and then as time went on, we gave them a pill that helped them to expel an usually unwanted baby. Now, my life has spanned a lot since then. And it seems like the pro-life, pro-choice controversy is absolutely a moot point at this juncture in our evolution in women's health. We have now a situation where if Trump gets into office, he will have an abortion ban, a federal abortion ban, which will highly stress the population of women in this country. Nobody can, and the thing is, a lot of times there are pregnancies that are diagnosed that are not going to survive. And a lot of times women have a family and they have a baby that has not developed correctly. And the state, especially of Texas, and there are abortion bans all through the South that tell us that these women will not be able to have help in terminating a pregnancy that the baby is already deceased. Now, what happens with this is that women know that they can't really ask their doctors for help, because if the doctors help them, the doctors will go to jail for 15 years in some cases. And sometimes the women go to jail. That's the plan. They're going to be sending women to jail for seeking the help of abortion services. Now, another thing that happened when I was a practicing nurse and nurse practitioner is that I worked in what was called a special care unit. Many times we had women with non-viable or maybe viable pregnancies whereas the baby had a serious condition and was not thought that to live, would not be living at the time of birth. we would do an induction to help them, you know, and we would do a lot of, and I was involved in this. We would do a lot of counseling with these women to help them get over the fact that they were not going to have a baby, that the baby that they wanted, especially at first, and then after a while, they knew that it was not a possible scenario. Now, so it's no longer pro-choice, pro-life. It's pro-death. It's pro-death. The abortion ban is pro-death. And damn it, that's what it is. I am not happy about this situation, but let me just say that Joe Theodore is an astrologer I have met on TikTok, and I have met him on Zoom, and he has pretty much said that Trump's astrological chart shows a tremendous downfall in his trajectory. He will not win, in other words. Kamala's chart shows a tremendous strength in her ability to win. So you can find Joe Theodore on YouTube. He has his own YouTube channel. He has his own Patreon, and he has his own TikTok. The TikTok is very, very deep as it goes into astrology. And if you don't know much about astrology, you learn a lot from his predictions. They are very deep. I have been motivated to look over my chart and compare it to what he's talking about in terms of the Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, and the sun, the moon, as related to the outer planets. And I was raised with a good deal of astrology, but I never really learned it. And I can't say that I'm really learning it, but I am applying it to what is going on in the world and what is going on in my life, which isn't exactly exciting, but I love you all, so you are very much a part of my life. And I hope I'm not offending you by talking about the abortion ban, which if Trump is elected, which the stars say he will not be, but if he is, we will have a tragedy on our hands with abortion bans, with dictatorial, autocratic leadership styles. And, politics, this goes beyond politics. I have been in this country all of my life. I think we traced the immigrant to the 1650s. And so we are all immigrants unless we are Native Americans. But the Native Americans are very much a part of what this country stood for and stands for. And their natural tendency towards spiritual perception is really what all of us should be looking into. So, is there a fig around? There's a lot of figs in there that I'll go get later. So, springtime in central Pennsylvania, we have a sky that isn't necessarily all blue. It's not going to rain, but it's a little clouded over. And I'm standing in the protection of my beautiful figs, and they are so beautiful. They're starting to become fall-like and not quite as green as their leaves were. And as I have mentioned before, figs are kind of a fertility plant and a fertility. So here's a fig right here that's ready to eat. Guess what? I'm going to eat it. I'm so sorry that our country is so divided. It really shouldn't be. We need to do what John Mears, who has recently been interviewed by me on this channel. In fact, we had a conversation yesterday, and we will go through that to get it on YouTube. But his daughter, at the end of the broadcast, told John that everything is pure love. Why we don't act like it is really our problem. It's nobody else's problem. We can't blame anybody else. We can't blame the outside world. But the whole idea is that the pure love is in the eyes that behold us, in our animals and in other humans. It's the arms that caress us. It's the blade of grasses that are below our feet. It's the beautiful yellowing of this tree that I love so much. This tree last year was red. And so the leaves are falling to the ground. And there are some rednesses over here. Yes. Red trees, red leaves, red trees. There's some beautiful ones. I wanted to take a more extensive walk and show you more. I guess I could do that tomorrow. But I just wanted to say that pro-life and pro-choice is no longer a thing. Now we are dealing with pro-death. There's going to be a video that shows up here. Take a look and comment below. You might be mad at me, but I have to tell the truth, my truth. And I believe it's really true. There's really right and wrong. Kamala is very pro-reproductive freedom. And America stands for freedom, stands for the rule of law and the Constitution. And we must uphold these principles.